We're here at the Florabundance Inspirational Design Days, and with me is Amy Osaba from Atlanta, Georgia. She just completed a fabulous program and wanted to share with you a little bit about her. Amy, how did you get started in the floral world?
Well, I would say I was always surrounded by flowers. I grew up on my grandmother's daylily farm, always playing with flowers, but really it didn't start until after I retired from ballet, and I kind of just started doing flowers for friends. It just really grew organically by word of mouth.
Interesting, from ballet, which is all presentation, to design and weddings, which is truly presentation as well. Then you use the word organic. I know that many of your bouquets, they're so natural, and in addition to the fabulous flowers, I understand you do a lot of foraging. What do you like to forage for?
I do love to forage. I tend to look for branches and leaves that have really delicate leaves and beautiful movement to them. You know, a lot of times things that you purchase don't quite have the same foliage as you can get in nature, and it just kind of gives it that more kind of garden feel to the types of bouquets that I use. I love Nandina. In Georgia, where we're from, there's this beautiful bush called olive bush. It's quite different than olive branch, but it's beautiful. So those are kind of the little hot spots that I know where there's some good foraging to be found in Atlanta.
So I know you started with a base of the Nandina, which is such a lovely foliage. Now the bouquet, show us what you have there. It is so grand. And how did you finish off the mechanics? That's something that's really quite interesting.
Yeah. So I did love the color of this Nandina. I usually start with the branches and the things that I foraged to kind of create the base, and then just kind of work my way from the larger blooms to the smaller blooms, and just keep adding until you have a lot of texture. I mean, it looks like it's just thrown together, but it actually takes a little bit of time and effort. But to finish it, I use a technique that I found really by accident. Instead of using wire or floral tape, I use a zip tie, which is incredibly helpful. They have this size, but they also have longer ones that are pretty useful. And it just holds everything together. You don't lose the shape whenever you use the zip tie. So, yes, the zip ties are my friends.
Thank you so much for sharing your bouquet. I know your students are anxious to have you back to come back and do teaching, so I want to thank you so much for sharing with us. Stay tuned for Amy Osaba. You're going to see her frequently in the flower world.